So the MetaQuest 3S is one of the probably most popular headsets that you can basically buy. The MetaQuest brand in general has a bunch of different headsets you can purchase. Now, the big thing to keep in mind here with this particular headset is that it can be kind of complicated to go and get, used to and kind of use it. But I'm going to be honest, it's not super difficult, and I'll show you a quick breakdown on exactly how to use it. Now, starting off with the outside of the headset itself, on the front side, you're getting your different sensors and your cameras. So this is what enables the actual full-fledged pass-through. It's full color and it is actually really, really nice. You have the Meta logo up top, as well as this little indicator that shows whether it's on or it's off. On the top side, you don't really get anything super crazy. It's just the standard strap that you can basically put inside of your head and put it back out. And then you also have your bands here that you can kind of replace. On the bottom side of your MetaQuest headset, you have a few things. You have some microphones, you have some more sensors. You also have a little tiny indicator, this button right here, which allows you to go ahead and basically just click it. You also have the volume up and down button right here, so you can increase or decrease the volume depending on what you want to do. And then you also have on the left side of your particular headset, you have your power button, which allows you to power on your MetaQuest headset and power it off. And then you have your charging port, which is the USB Type-C charger right there. Now, once you plug this thing in and you turn it on, you'll basically be able to come into this particular page. So what it is it's basically these two goggles right here, and they basically just put them on your head, and you can just, strap this thing onto your head. You can tighten it by going through and moving it around like this. You can make it tighten, tighter or looser depending on which way you want to go. So you can kind of loosen these things up right here, and these bands are pretty good, so they should be in pretty good condition for the most part. And that's kind of it on the exterior of your headset. It's pretty basic like any other type of headset for the most part. But then we get the controllers. So these controllers are very interesting, right? Because they're just pretty, basic. They're just kind of the same thing as the MetaQuest 3 for the most part. So with the controllers themselves, you basically are able to use these analog joysticks, which are really cool. So you can go through and play games with them. They're motion censored, so you can go through and actually, kind of use them whichever way you want to. You also have the A, B buttons and XY buttons right here. So if you want to, you can go through and actually, kind of play games. This is your, guide button here, and then this is your meta button right here. So you can go through, and as you kind of go through and use your headset, you'll kind of see more of things to kind of do with these things. And then you also have the triggers on the backside. Now these controllers also allow you to change the batteries. So if you want to, you can click onto this button right up here and slide this thing out. So what it allows you to do is it basically allows you to kind of pry this thing out of this thing like this. And you can change out these batteries whichever way you want to. So it can be kind of convenient if you want to just quickly change out these batteries. Well, you have that type of capability, and then you can go through and slide this thing back in just like so, and click it right back into place. So that is that. Now, one other thing and one important thing to keep in mind with the headset itself is that you do need to download an application in order to use it, and you need to download the Meta Horizon application. So just make sure that if you are going through and getting your headset, you want to make sure that you do have the Meta Horizon application set up and you have it downloaded. You will need that for the setup. Now, another big thing to keep in mind here too is that I've already gone through the initial setup on my MetaQuest. It basically just tells you to go and do some pretty basic type of stuff on your headset. So I've already gone through it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and basically bring up the MetaQuest software on my device. I'll go and cast it, and you'll be able to see what I'm saying, just not through here. But keep in mind, I've already gone through the initial setup, which is pretty basic. So go through that, and then we'll come back to basically where we're at right now. Okay, so now I've gone through the initial setup of basically using my particular headset. So now I'm in the initial phase of actually using it. So this is what it's going to look like whenever you actually boot up your headset. So the first thing to keep in mind is that one, you will have to go through and basically just get used to the layout. So you'll have your Horizon feed in the middle. So what this basically does is it just shows you a bunch of different things, like any new applications that were added, and you can use your controls. So you can see my controls right here. You can click on your buttons and you can see your fingers kind of moving around wherever your buttons are. It's actually kind of crazy. So what you're going to want to do is you just want to go ahead and basically and I'll go and move this right here. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and just kind of get used to, moving your fingers around, moving your controllers around, and grabbing and dragging things up and down. So just kind of get used to that. That's kind of the first thing. Now, you'll have your tab on the right side too, which will just basically be your standard little type of page. So what this is it basically is just like a little feed where you can have your Instagram followers, different things like that. You can kind of see right there too, and you can open the people app if you want to. Now, that is that. At the very bottom, you'll have your standard tab. Now what this tab does is it shows you a couple of different things. So for one, it shows you your profile right here. So you can click on here to see your profile. It shows you your quick settings right there. So you can tap on it and get into quick settings, your notifications, your enter pass-through. If you want to be able to see what's around you, you can quickly enter pass-through or exit pass-through. And then some other applications here, and then all applications. Now, tapping on your profile will basically just bring you into your profile page here. This is your profile. People can add you, people can follow you, people can unfollow you. It just depends on what you want to do. If you want to exit out of an application that you're in, you can click on the X button right there. You can minimize it, or you can make it full screen. In this case, we'll just exit out of it. Now, if you click on your quick settings, this will take you into your settings that you have on your device. So what you can do here is you can quickly just kind of see what, if you want to increase or decrease your volume, you can do that here. You can, change your brightness here if you want to, which is kind of convenient. You can go and access your full settings here. And then you have your other quick settings here, your Wi-Fi, pass-through, link, your Bluetooth, and these other options here too. If you want to enable Do Not Disturb or other options, you can do all of that here as well. Now, if you want to hop in your full settings, like I said, you can tap on here to enter your full, suite of settings that you have. There's a lot of different settings here. So you can also search for settings here as well. Now, if we were to minimize this, watch what happens. It will still be available here. It's not going to delete it, but it's going to be available right here for us. Now, notifications and pass-through, again, it just shows you what's around you. You have these other tabs and options here too. But then under library, this basically shows you all the applications that you can basically have on your home screen right now. So you can see we have a lot of different applications here. We have WhatsApp, Facebook, we have Instagram on here too, I think right there. Camera, so there's cameras, you can take photos and videos. You can remote desktop into here too, which is really cool. A big thing I think a lot of people are going to want to do though is probably download more applications. And you can do that within the Meta Horizon store. So if we go and tap on the Meta Horizon store, which is right there, it will basically take us into this page. Now within this page, there's a lot of stuff you can basically download. So there's the Thrill of the Fight 2, there's Beat Saber, there's Gorilla Tag, which is pretty popular. So you can download whichever application you want. And when you find an application you want to download, you can just tap on it, and then you can click Get, and it will allow you to basically download these types of applications, which is actually a really cool thing. So once it's downloaded, you can go through and click Download, it'll just download by itself, and that's that. Now you can also go through and kind of like move these applications around by grabbing the top right up here, and you can go through and move it around. So if I want to, I can move it up here, I can move it to the side, I can move it wherever I want to, which is really cool. So I can swap it with this application to kind of go back and forth. So I can have this tab right here, I can have this tab right here, and I can have this one right here. But if I want to, I can delete this one, like I said, and I can just have this here, which is pretty crazy. And then there's like this thing, which is kind of crazy, it's kind of interesting. But regardless of that, what you can also do is you can go through and you can hop inside of this library, which is right here. And like I said, you have a lot of these other applications you can choose from. So you can hop into settings, files, you can click on these three dots up here if you want to, and you can hide these applications too. So at this point, it's really kind of up to you what you want to do. There is a lot of capability here. There is a lot of capability here for the most part, and there's a lot of different things you can kind of do. So the world is kind of your oyster here, so you can kind of do whatever you want to do. I think a lot of people are probably going to end up going into the Meta Horizon store and downloading applications. So I'd recommend every single person to just go up there and go, get access to your, the Meta Horizon store and go through and download some applications and kind of go from there. Once an application is downloaded, you can open it up just like this and get access to the whole entire application, which is actually pretty cool. So that's basically how it works for the most part. So that is the Meta Quest, 3S. It's not really anything super insane. It's a pretty basic headset to kind of use for the most part. Like I mentioned before, it's really, really cool. It has a bunch of capability, but that is in a way basically how you end up kind of using it. So at the core, that's essentially how it's done for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, till then.